Mr. Speaker, I rise to give my support to the Appropriation Bill 2012-2013. And I must congratulate our Prime Minister and his team that did a wonderful job in trying to come up with this disciplined budget. Because definitely, from both sides of this aisle, we want as much as we can for our constituencies. But we have to remember that there are limited resources, and we should do the best that we can with those resources. For instance, I want to first thank my constituency for having elected me again. And not only that, Mr. Speaker, I was elected as a member of the Town Council, the first UDP to be elected as a member of the San Pedro Town Council, the first mayor to be, UDP mayor to be elected over there, the first area rep, the first minister to be a minister from that constituency. And again, I must thank the Prime Minister for having confidence and having elected me again as the Minister of Tourism, of which I am very proud of. Today, as we speak about the budget, Mr. Speaker, we must realize that the tourism industry plays a vital role in this economy. We must note that 25% of the GDP comes from a contribution from the tourism industry, or more or less $500 million come from this very vibrant industry. And also, I didn't hear the member from Fort George this time talking about foreclosures in San Pedro and about how bad the things are, because I must say today, Mr. Speaker, that for the first time ever, our country have experienced or have exceeded the 250,000 visitors that had visited Belize. In the POP times, it got to the maximum of 250,000. Today, it's well above the 250,000. But it doesn't come by magic. It doesn't come by just sitting down behind the wheel. It comes because of dedication, hard work, planning, consistency, discipline. And that is the difference between the United Democratic Party and the People's United Party. That is the difference. Mr. Speaker, if we can recall, and again, give credit where credit is due, you know. The best, at the time, the best Minister of Tourism from the People's United Party was Marcus Pat. And I must say that he is an honest Belizean.
Members of the gallery, let the member for Belize Rural South speak.
An honest Belizean, and when these people are talking about the love for Belize, that is one guy that loves Belize, because he is willing to put party aside and work for the interests of Belize. And praise to that guy. And, Mr. Speaker, in order to grow the economy, in order to be able to have more money for a budget, you have to learn to work together with the partners in the industry, the stakeholders. Those are the people that guide and move the industry. And not to praise myself, but as the Minister of Tourism, I have been one of those, and that's why the Prime Minister put me back again, that have been able to work so close together with stakeholders. What was done in the first instance, because we can recall, Mr. Speaker, that during the times of the PUP, you know what was done? The Ministry of Tourism was dismantled. That, as reckless as the word, they dismantled the Ministry of Tourism. Thanks to the UDP today, we are capitalizing and we are bringing back the Ministry of Tourism and making sure that it serves the poorer people and making sure that it is balanced. Because although we want to help the bigger people, we also want the smaller ones to survive. And if you can look in budget after budget, if you go to the Prime Minister directly, you can see that the Prime Minister is willing to help if you apply directly to him. And he will grant duties for people that want to improve in their tour operators. Small hotels that want to better off that, they can get duties applying directly to the Prime Minister. That is the incentive of this government, caring for the poorer people, for the and talking about confidence. On the other side, they were talking that there is no confidence with this administration. If there was no confidence, let me tell you that during the times in the latter part of the PUP, they could not access a penny from the multilateral agencies. Why? Because of the recklessness of that government. Today, luckily, they have seen that we are a disciplined government. They have seen that we are interested in the welfare of this country and not in our personal welfare as it was traditional with the PUP. And I can recall the member from Fort George in the last budget recalling about Sueños del Mar foreclosure, about Benny and Bay's receivership. Today, I must say, Mr. Speaker, Sueños del Mar is back at work. They are hiring, they have hired new people, and it is open and doing well. I must also say that if there was no confidence, then Key Chapel, which was sitting over there, probably not generating any income to this country, not creating any employment. I think the Prime Minister said it in his address 10 days ago. That will be an investment, apart from the $37 million that the Air Master will be getting from this sale. It will bring about a $250 injection to this industry and to this economy. And that will be creating a number of jobs, because we are for the poor people, we are for creating jobs. Again, if there was no confidence investment, Mr. Speaker, to grow this budget, Venecia del Caribe in San Pedro, an $80 million investment that has just commenced. So I don't know where the member from Cayo South, apparently he knew that I was going to come to him, and because he was pretending to be helping me in the crime situation about what should be done about the tourism industry and that. But let me tell him that I am capable enough of running my constituency. I thank him, but I am capable enough of running my constituency. And again, another project, Grand Carib, which local investment with foreign investment. And I must thank in particularly the Feinstein family, because they are doing a wonderful job as locals to make sure that they use their monies to the best way possible and creating quality when I tell you quality rooms, quality projects. If I'm not mistaken, their first part of the project was at $30 million. Today, they're going to phase 2, which will be almost to the tune of the same amount. And the minister from Caribbean Shores, Minister of State, said it well. For the first time ever, this country will have a conference center, international conference center, that will be able to cater for these professional people. You hear going to Costa Rica, going to other parts of the world, Cancun and those areas, because they have the amenities of what they have to provide for these professionals. After this is completed, I can guarantee that you will see this group of professionals using Belize as a center to host their conferences and so forth. Because Belize is a beautiful place. Belize have the amenities that none of our neighbors have around over here. The best archaeological sites, as the member from Cayo South rightly said, the best caves that we have, the best of everything. And in particularly, one of the things that I have to respond to the member from Cayo South, talking about a port. Definitely, as the Minister of Tourism, I do realize that we need a port. The way we are doing it today is not the safest way. It's the best way that we can afford at this point. But why do we not have a port? It's because of the People's United Party. Mr. Speaker, in their time, you know what they did? They signed an exclusive to Carnival. They went ahead and signed an exclusive to Royal Caribbean, which got us into litigation. And they are talking about planning. They are talking about honesty. Let us be serious. If we really want to move this country ahead, let us be serious. Let us not play games. Because if we are honest enough, if we love Belize, the member from Cayo South, a contractor, and I think an architect, if you really love Belize, what used to be the Bliss Institute and was resorted, I don't remember to how many millions, but today when it rains, you know, it is leaking from all over. If we love this country, we would have done a proper job and not with inflated prices. The UDP administration, Mr. Speaker, is a party that believes in getting value for its money. Everything that we have done, we have gotten value for that money. For example, in this STP project, because we believe that in order to grow our product, we have to have the proper infrastructure. We cannot grow our product without proper infrastructure. And what this administration have done, and several of our members have mentioned it, a $30 million that is injected into the tourism industry in 4 different areas. Probably with the recommendation of IDB, Placencia, San Pedro, Belize City, and Cayo were chosen to be the key areas that can stimulate, if we did this project, can stimulate additional income so that again, in the years to come, we can have a better budget. But nonetheless, Mr. Speaker, I must say that the project in Belize City is being designed in order to have a better infrastructure so that the cruise tourism, whenever passengers will disembark, there will be something to see. Not like in the years of the PUP, I can recall, we almost had 1 million tourists arriving, cruise tourists arriving in Belize. But very disappointed. And going back, and it went down because of the lack of planning. Lack of planning. Lack of infrastructure. Plan, as what you all were saying, most of the members over here have been talking about planning, but they are not serious. They were there for 10 years and never did it. We believe in planning, and because of that, our ministry has embarked on our 20-year national master plan for the tourism industry, which should see us going in a positive direction. The member from Toledo East have said, yes, we need to plan. And indeed, I agree with him. If we don't plan, we will stay behind. I recall when I took over the Ministry of Tourism, and in particularly BTB, we were amazed that we were not growing. We were not going to the pace of our neighbors, Caribbean neighbors, and our Central American neighbors. What did we do? We didn't sit down and cry. We worked together with the stakeholders. We worked together with our technical people. We hired people to advise us as to what we are doing, if it was right or wrong. And at the end of the day, there was a formula that we were 10 to 15 years behind in the way we were doing marketing. And we took an aggressive move because it's about aggressiveness. It's about working hard. It's about putting the money where it belongs. In the times of the PUP, you know, Mr. Speaker, and it is sad to say that in the time of election, you would see almost $1 million being used of BTB for political propaganda. Look at it today. Under this minister, it doesn't happen. There is not ham, there is not turkeys, there is not. It is being put to the best use of this country because I love my country and I love my people. But nonetheless, the facts are the facts, and there is no comparison the way the Ministry of Tourism and BTB are being run as the way it was being run by the PUP. No comparison whatsoever. Because when it comes to honesty, transparency, and that type of thing, there is no one on that side that can match this minister. You know, the only thing that the PUP can say about this minister, the no-shoes minister, and I'm very proud of that. And, Mr. Speaker, coming at the way the tourism industry is moving today, January of this year saw the best records ever in the past 10 years. That is to show you how good we are working, and I have to praise my team, and I have to praise the board of directors, the past and the present ones, for the strong effort, for their hard work that they have been doing. And I can tell you that it's just a matter of time that you will see Belize flourishing in the tourism industry. Flourishing, because the potential is there. The potential is there for this industry to be grown. And because we have a prime minister that is very honest, I am very, very proud to serve under this prime minister, because I don't believe too much in politics, you know, and Mr. Speaker. I am there because I love to serve my country and my people. And if you are not with one party or the other, then it is difficult. But I chose to be a UDP because that is the better party. In the budgets, we have seen time after time in the Ministry of Education, a minister that is committed to serving the entire country, not only the UDPs, but the PUPs. Never before, Mr. Speaker, had Belize Rural South seen help from the Ministry of Education during the times of the PUP. We never saw any of our people getting subsidies. We never saw any of our people being assisted to go to UB. We have never seen none of our people going abroad with assistance from the PUP administration, from my constituency. Today, I must say that from primary level, secondary level, tertiary level, UB, and today I must boast that for the first time, because of this minister, we have 12 of our own who are studying to get a degree abroad. And I'm very proud of that. Unfortunately, all of the people are very grateful, you know. When you help people, they are grateful. Fortunately, even the ones that we are helping going abroad that were PUP, today they are UDPs because of the commitment of this area rep, because of the way I deal with poor people, because I believe, again, and I will repeat, I love Belize and I love my people. And I will continue. And I'm sure that this young Minister of Education, which to me is the best Minister of Education that this country have ever had, because he's serious and he's honest just like myself. Mr. Speaker, again, I have to be very thankful to this UDP government, and in particularly to my Prime Minister. Because even though we generate, my constituency generate, and I heard the minister from Stan Creeks saying that they generate a big part of the income. My constituency generates 50% of the total tourism industry, that is between Kikakar and San Pedro. And 60% of the revenues collected come from my constituency, from the tourism industry. But again, I realize that there are other parts of this country that need help. So I will not be greedy as to saying to the Prime Minister, look, we want a big portion of that to come out for San Pedro. We want a lot, but we believe in other people's needs. We need to assist other people. And if it's not for the super bond, they don't like to hear that, and I love that every single one of my colleagues repeated. If not for the super bond, our country would be in a tremendous opportunity to be able to market our country better, to be able to market the tourism industry better, and probably attracting a lot more tourists. But nonetheless, I believe in infrastructure, I said before we start to grow our numbers. We have to be responsible. And again, the solid waste management program, which again, if we want to grow the tourism industry, we have to have a proper environment. We have to have the proper disposal of the garbage that you have over there. And even though during the times of the PUP, this had been on the stream, that it would be done, it was never accomplished. I heard about that from my, probably, I don't recall as to how many years, because it's so long. But under this UDP, thanks to the UDP, I can tell you that very shortly, we will be having the construction of the facilities that will be catering for the proper way of disposing of our garbage. And that, again, is a $30 million for the country, and it includes San Pedro and Kikakar. So thank you very much, Prime Minister, for that. Again, we heard yesterday a loan motion for the improvement of the water and sewer for San Pedro, because our administration believes that you have to have the proper infrastructure if we are to grow this product. And I must tell you that the water and sewer is a must if we are to grow the tourism industry. And you know how much money that is? More than $40 million that will be injected into San Pedro for the water and sewer project very shortly. So, Mr. Speaker, I must applaud my Prime Minister for being bold, for taking this initiative. And I must say, also before closing, because I believe a lot of my colleagues have said a lot of what I needed to say, but in honesty to the Minister of Fisheries, I must say that to the member of the Toledo East, that in fairness to her, what she did was right, because this is a fisherman for more than 35 years, Even though I am a member of Parliament, I was a fisherman for 35 years. And I'm still solid with my people. Whenever there is a problem in the fisheries industry, they will not go to the Minister of Fisheries. They will come to this one over here because of my experience and my honesty. That is very important to note, my honesty. And in fairness to her, the closure of the conch season was because We have exhausted our maximum yield for that year. And if we, as a government, were irresponsible and grant them additional quotas, but first let me tell you, they had been granted an additional from the quota that they had, you know. But if we had granted additional, then, Mr. Speaker, we would have lost the opportunity to be able to export the following year. And that would have been a loss of $10 million to this industry. Our fishermen understood. Mr. Speaker, our fishermen understood, and they were willing to take the sacrifice. And today, you see, they are calm, they are back working. But this administration is a responsible one, Mr. Speaker. This administration is not about families, it is not about friends, it is not about cronies, it is about doing the right thing. In the past, you know, there is one of the largest fishing societies in Belize. And you know, they are almost at the verge of disappearing. If not for this administration, they would be gone. But we are responsible enough not to allow them to go beyond their limits. In the past, because of family relationships, they were allowed to do what they want. That is not a responsible government. A responsible government is about discipline. If you cannot afford to pay a profit that you didn't make, then as a responsible government, make sure that they do not. But what did the PUP allow them to sink themselves every year over and over again, to the extent that they are almost able to disappear. But we are bold enough, and we will continue to work with them to make sure that they survive. Because I always believe that the fishermen come first, just like my friend from Toledo is. The small people come first. And if we will continue to grow this economy, Mr. Speaker, it has to be about a balanced development. A balanced development that will see the environment protected, that will see the economic part also going along with that. Conservation without economics doesn't work. I have seen it, and I can prove that. Holchan Marine Reserves, an example of the entire nation, where you have the economics of it, it is one of the most successful, to the extent that they have a fixed deposit in the bank, to the extent that they have been helping with scholarship for marine biology and those type of things. That is the type of thing that we need to do. Work together for the interest of Belize, work together for our poorer people, and if you love Belize, be one with Belize. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.